The creature had been living in the woods for as long as anyone could remember. It was said to be half human and half wolf, with the body of a man and the head of a wolf. Some people said it was a monster, while others said it was just a lonely creature who wanted to be left alone. One day, a group of teenagers decided to go camping in the woods. They didn't believe the stories about the creature, and they thought it would be fun to spend a night in the wilderness. They set up their tents and started a campfire, and then they sat around telling stories and laughing. As the night wore on, the teenagers started to get tired. One by one, they went to bed. The last one to go to bed was a young woman named Sarah. She lay in her tent, listening to the sounds of the night. She heard the wind in the trees and the hooting of an owl. And then she heard something else. It was a low, guttural growl. Sarah sat up in her tent, her heart pounding. She listened again, and the growl came again. It was coming from outside her tent. Sarah was terrified. She didn't know what to do. She wanted to run, but she was afraid that if she moved, the creature would hear her. She lay back down in her tent and tried to control her breathing. The growling stopped, and Sarah thought she was safe. But then she heard a noise outside her tent. It was the sound of something scratching at the canvas. Sarah screamed and scrambled out of her tent. She ran through the woods, not knowing where she was going. She could hear the creature crashing through the underbrush behind her. Sarah ran until she couldn't run anymore. She collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. She looked up and saw the creature standing over her. It was even more terrifying than she had imagined. Its eyes were glowing red, and its teeth were bared. The creature raised its claws and lunged at Sarah. She closed her eyes and waited for the end. But the end never came. Instead, she felt the creature's claws brush against her face. She opened her eyes and saw that the creature was gone. Sarah didn't know why the creature had spared her, but she was grateful. She got up and started walking back to her campsite. When she got there, her friends were waiting for her. They were relieved to see her, and they asked her what had happened. Sarah told them about the creature, and they didn't believe her at first. But then they saw the scratches on her face, and they knew she was telling the truth. The next day, Sarah went back to the spot where she had met the creature. She wanted to find out more about it. She searched the area for hours, but she couldn't find anything. Just when she was about to give up, she saw something in the distance. It was a small, wooden cabin. Sarah walked up to the cabin and knocked on the door. The door opened, and a man stepped out. He was old and frail, with a long white beard.
Why are you here? Can I help you?
I am looking for the creature.
You are looking for the creature. Why would you want to do that?
I want to know why it spared me.
I don't know why it spared you. But I can tell you this. The creature is not to be trifled with. It is a dangerous creature and it will kill you if it has the chance. You should be afraid.
I am not afraid, just curious.
Sarah was terrified. She didn't know what to do. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The creature took a step towards her. Its eyes were glowing red, and its teeth were bared. Sarah knew that she was going to die. The creature lunged at her, and she closed her eyes and waited for the end. But the end never came. Instead, she felt the creature's claws brush against her face. She opened her eyes and saw that the creature was gone. Sarah didn't know why the creature had spared her, but she was grateful. She went back inside and locked the door. She didn't sleep that night, and she didn't know if she would ever be able to sleep again. The next day, Sarah went to the police. She told them what had happened, but they didn't believe her. They thought she was crazy. Sarah knew that she wasn't crazy. She knew that the creature was real. And she knew that it was coming back. The teenagers never went back to that campsite again. And they never forgot the night they met the half-human creature. The creature was a mystery. No one knew where it came from or why it lived in the woods. But one thing was for sure, it was a dangerous creature. The teenagers were lucky to escape with their lives. The creature was a reminder that there are things in the world that we don't understand. There are creatures that are both human and animal. There are creatures that are both good and evil. And there are creatures that are both beautiful and terrifying. The creature was a reminder that we should never take anything for granted. We should never be too sure of ourselves.